Story Chapter 11. Zeus punishes Prometheus. Prometheus took the sacred red fire, a unique treasure of the gods, and gave it to humans. That act made Zeus, the father of gods and mortals, so angry that his blood boiled. Zeus must punish humanity to let Prometheus know that Zeus is a powerful man, that Prometheus and number 39, devoted sacrifice for human life is in vain. Although humanity becomes immortal thanks to the fire of Prometheus, crime and disaster along with many evil and crazy things also become immortal companions of humanity. For that reason, humans cannot have a moral, civilized, and happy life like Prometheus desired. Zeus had to punish Prometheus to let humanity know that the price to pay for his daring, blasphemous act, daring to rob the gods of their exclusive sacred treasure, the tireless red flame, was so high. Those who harbor a love for humanity and a desire to change humanity and number 39's fate should take that as an example. Zeus ordered Prometheus to be taken to a towering mountain peak in the Caucasus Mountains, chaining Prometheus to it. Hephaestus, the famous blacksmith god, previously created the young woman Pandora, now responsible for nailing Prometheus and number 39's chains to the rocky mountain. Prometheus was tormented, during the day under the scorching sun, at night under the bone-chilling frost and snow. And yet, every day Zeus sent an eagle with wide and long wings to peck open Prometheus and number 39's liver and eat it. Zeus thought that using those tortures, Prometheus would have to submit to him. Prometheus would have to give up her love for humanity and her proud and defiant opposition to Zeus and the divine world. But Prometheus is still Prometheus, always surrendering to Zeus without fear. And how wonderful and strange it is that Prometheus and number 39's liver chamber is as immortal as the Titan Prometheus. As much as the evil bird ate during the day, Prometheus and number 39's liver grew back at night, intact, fresh, without any trace of injury or insult. The blacksmith god Hephaestus chained Prometheus to the top of the mountain. Prometheus knew Zeus and number 39's fate. If Zeus married the goddess Thetis, a sea goddess, then the son, the result of this marriage, would grow up to overthrow his father and number 39's throne and gain control of the world. Gods and humans as his father had done for his grandfather, Kronos. It is truly an extremely valuable knowledge. It can be said that it is priceless for Zeus. If Zeus knew this, he would certainly be even more overbearing, arrogant and brutal. But Zeus doesn't and #39 know. Rather, Zeus only knew half of it, meaning Zeus only knew that his son would overthrow him and usurp his throne. But Zeus did not know which wife or goddess was born to that child. The divine world of Mount Olympus has so many goddesses: Aphrodite, Athena, Thetis, Demeter, Artemis, the three Moires sisters, etc. Who knows who to avoid and whom to marry? That is what Zeus is extremely concerned about and extremely worried about. Zeus thought that if he chained Prometheus to a rocky mountain, tortured Prometheus, and used an evil bird to torture Prometheus, one day, Prometheus would have to beg Zeus for forgiveness, and Prometheus would have to clearly declare the mystery to Zeus that Prometheus has kept hidden for so long. But Zeus miscalculated. Centuries passed, Prometheus remained undeterred, giving in to Zeus. In the end, Zeus himself had to succumb to Prometheus and number 39's willpower. Zeus must surrender to Prometheus. The hero Heracles, a descendant of Io, took on the mission of liberating Prometheus. After many hardships and challenges and extremely extraordinary and great feats, he reached the towering peak of Caucasus. With a magic arrow, Heracles killed the evil bird. God Zeus was helpless and had to remove Prometheus and number 39 chains. And only then did Prometheus tell Zeus the secret. But in order to avoid being known as the person who had resigned himself to failure before Prometheus and number 39's steadfast will, Zeus ordered the blacksmith god Hephaestus to forge a small iron ring and attach a small piece of stone to it for Prometheus to wear on his finger as if still chaining Prometheus to the rock. Today in world literature, the flame of Prometheus, le feu de Prométhée, le feu Prométhéen, symbolizes freedom, civilization, progress, and symbolizes the resilient and indomitable struggle against oppression and exploitation. Exploitation and cruelty towards humans. Prométhée ideology, esprit de Prométhée, Prométhée spirit, esprit Prométhée, Prométhée personality, character de Prométhée, symbolizes free will, stubbornness, rebellion, fierce opposition to dark, evil forces. Meaningful, uncompromising, and at the same time symbolizes a steadfast attitude in noble goals and an extreme hatred of betrayal and surrender. Titan today has a different meaning. It no longer has the old meaning of the generation of conservative, backward old gods. On the contrary, it has a good meaning of outstanding, resilient, indomitable, and courageous soldiers fighting for ideals. Freedom, equality, happiness, humanity, friendship of humanity, of great thinkers, alone but still courageously fighting and challenging the tyrannical forces and betraying the people. Expanding the meaning, Titan also refers to geniuses and great men of humanity in the fields of culture, science, and art. The myth of Prometheus stealing the fire of heaven and bringing it down to humanity reflects the great feat of humans discovering fire and knowing how to use fire as the first energy revolution in human history. It is certain that this myth with its basic and primary meaning was formed in an ancient period of the matrilineal clan period, not until the Hesiod period of the 8th century BC and the later Aeschyl period. This is new. However, in the form of the story that we can preserve and retell here, the imprint of the patriarchal period is quite clear and quite bold. First of all, in the legendary layer about Pandora and the calamities that humanity has to endure. Clearly, in this legendary class, there is a and quat, disregard for women and quat, and quat, a very low evaluation of the role of women and quat. Furthermore, women are considered the source of all disasters and misfortunes in life. Just because of Pandora and number 39's curiosity, we humans have to endure so many miserable disasters. Is this evidence of the great historical failure of women? F. Engels. Later in the legend of Orest avenging his father, Orest was acquitted by the goddess Athena in the case of murdering his mother. We have another proof of that failure. By the way, Let and number 39's also talk a little more about the myth of original sin in Christianity. There seems to be some similarity. It was also because of the curiosity of the world and number 39's first woman, Eve, that the eating of the forbidden fruit happened. And God is so just, so compassionate, so merciful, so why, when punishing sin, does he subject women to a heavier punishment? Having to bear a heavy burden of childbirth and being dominated by men. As for the man, he has to sweat and cry to get the land and struggle with the land to have food. God has been biased towards men, even saying, and quote, the left hand gives punishment but the right hand gives reward and quote, giving men the right to dominate women. What an unfair way of judging, defaming justice. If God had an appellate court, humanity would have to apply for reconsideration. But God is the beginning and the end, so for nearly 2,000 years people have believed that God is just, wise, compassionate, and merciful. Conclusion. Ignorance gives birth to blind faith in religion. Even more obvious marks of the patriarchal clan period or later of the period of civilization formation of slave-owning society are all the fruits of intelligence, human intelligence, labor of humanity are all gathered through the merits of Prometheus and the fire. Writing, medicine, mathematics, metallurgy. Achievements that could only be achieved when there was a division of mental labor and manual labor, when there was the labor of slaves creating produce surplus products to a certain meager extent enough to support a class of people specializing in state management, commerce, scientific research, and artistic creation. There is no Greek nation, no Greek art and science. End quote. In other words, without slavery, there is no myth like Aeschyle described in the chained Prometheus tragedy. We note here an expansion, a development of myth. But what has even greater significance is that the myth of Prometheus appeared as a legendary phenomenon, denying the divine myth, denying the divine. Powerful and humanistic elements affirming human strength and its ability to perceive and transform the world are dressed in the disguise of and quote, God of Prometheus and quote. This God, with the noble ideal of doing everything for human happiness, confronted the tyrant Zeus and won a glorious victory. Later, Zeus had to reconcile, which meant accepting defeat, which meant that the conservative, reactionary social forces that blocked the progress of civilization and the formation of a slave-owning state polis had to admit defeat. That and number 39. Syk Marx said, and quote, the Greek gods were tragically beaten to death for the first time in Aeschyle and #39. Chained Prometheus. End quote. Prometheus is a god that destroys faith in the gods. It is the power of humans deified to negate the gods. The dialectic of the development of human thought during the transition period from primitive communal society to slave-owning society in ancient Greece is complex, tortuous, and meandering like that. We will also see this phenomenon in the myth of Dionysus. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.